You're listening to the Zone Coverage Football Show, where opinions, passion, and pride are always on the line. Live from Teece Towers, here's your host, Mark Teece.
Hello, and welcome along to the Zone Coverage Football Show, episode number 17, week 12 of the season. Do hope everyone is well wherever you are. Right then, what have we got coming up on today's show? We got the hot route. I'm going to set that in a moment, so I'll give out the number for you guys to call in on. We got the NFL news as usual, a roundup of what's gone on over the course of the last 7 days. As I'm not afraid to make a complete fool of myself, I've done a little twist on the weekend words, and I found a lost long relative in the form of Texas Teece. So yeah, cringeworthy moment, warning coming right up. So we'll see how that goes. I would imagine you're probably going to ring the men in the white jackets to come and collect me after listening to that. You'll think I'm absolutely mental. But hey-ho, who cares? We also have, what else do we have? The Love Line today. Got a couple of guys featuring on the Love Line feature. Fan versus fan. We have the Redskins and 49ers squaring off. Redskins fan in the form of Tom, and representing the 49ers is Nick. So we got that coming up a little later than normal, in fairness. That'll be around about 4:45 because... bit of scheduling issues there, so sorting all that out. So that'll be around about 4:45. Then Fantasy 5 at 5. Simon returns with the Fantasy Fuds and Duds around about 5 o'clock, hence Fantasy 5 at 5. If we get time, fingers crossed, yeah, we'll look into the fixtures, who's on the TV, what time, and all that sort of stuff. Standings, the playoff implications, a few shout-outs and mentions, and hopefully a few calls. So yeah, that is that out the way. Usual sort of nonsense top of the show if you're not new. Just bear with me. If you are new, however, fingers crossed you are listening by the TuneIn and Spreaker apps. And as last week was quite a hit on the Spreaker app, you could go in a little chat room there. I do believe it was Noel and Scott Larkin. They were messaging me via that. So feel free to do that on the Spreaker app as we are live. So that's all cool. You can tweet the show as well if you want, at Zone Coverage FS. Keep those tweets and that coming in. If it sounds a bit iffy, whatever, any sort of feedback, anything you want to say on today's show, feel free, hit me up as we go. Also, if you can't listen live, you can download us as a podcast. So iTunes, Stitcher, you find us on Google Plus, Facebook. And if you're struggling, you've missed all that and you're just too busy and you can't remember where everything is, just go to the website. That is zonecoveragefootballshow.com. You can also email the show as well. That is zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com. I do believe that is everything. Oh, one last thing. You can now, however, by the way, if you go to the website, zonecoveragefootballshow.com, you can click on there's a little sort of, I can't even remember what it looks like because I've not looked on the website for a while, so that's poor my end. But there's you can leave a voicemail to the show, and if you've got a gripe or you just want to say something, you've got a 90-second voicemail, you can leave it. I'll play it on the show. If you want to set the hot route, or you're up late at night, your team scores a winning field goal as time expires, and you want to share that moment of joy and elation, then just feel free. Just knock yourselves out, fill your boots, whatever. Right then, let's get into today's hot route. I will give you out the number in a moment, so here we go.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
So there's Herm Edwards having a little bit of a rant, and something that I've noticed, it happens every season, every week, in fairness. The sort of question of the day, the hot route, is NFL sort of like media sort of paint and create these pictures of like heroes and villains of the leagues. We've got RG3, which in fairness he's not doing himself any favours, but he's having a rough time. I'll sort of expand on that a little more, find it a more level playing field. But you've got Matt Ryan. He's not playing the best sort of ball of his career at the moment. I'm sure there's someone put a stat out there about his statistics, and Jay Cutler's. They're sort of on similar pace, touchdowns and interception wise. Matt Ryan escapes all the sort of media wrath. He's like, oh, it's Matty Ice, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's cool. As for Jay Cutler, yeah, the The Bears fans do not hold back on their thoughts of Jay Cutler in Chicago. Peyton Manning the same. He seems, Peyton Manning's had a tremendous career, set all these records. I do like the guy. He's a fantastic quarterback. Been throwing lame ducks for the last couple of years, cold weather and all that sort of nonsense. Calls out the scoreboard guy a few weeks back. Everyone laughs, think it's fantastic. Classic Peyton, what a guy. That had been someone else doing that, the world would melted down. So I want to know if you guys have got any of those like heroes and villains the media are painting out. Does anyone get unfair criticism? Does people get unfair praise? Whatever your sort of slant on that, really. What's going on? What's your take on that? So if you want to ring in on that, it's 0161 818 4593. That is 01618 4593. Failing the phone number, you can contact me on Skype. That is Teece Mister, T-E-E-C-E Mister, Teece Mister, T-E-E-C-E Mister. So that is your hot route. Media, bloody heroes and villains, or anything else. Is there anything else that's upsetting you this week, or any sort of calls that we had? And if you didn't listen last week, you missed out on an absolutely blinding call from Ashley from Minnesota. UK guy, he's married, moved to Minnesota, and he was saying that the sort of comparison into watching NFL in the US is actually more expensive than watching it for us fans over here in the UK. Fantastic call, quite possibly one of the best we've ever had. So if you've not checked out episode 16, just go back, listen to that. And I think it was Patriots Fan 90 on Twitter as well. So, and I did see a lot of you guys sort of tweeting him and stuff on there. So that was pretty awesome. So feel free, you can call in about whatever you want, whenever you want. So the phone lines are now open. I will check in on Twitter because I can see a few flashes going on there. So here we go. Will Davies, not only hat route, evening tonight I have your dulcet tones blasting out of my car stereo. So I should belt out a tune for you if you like, Will. And no, we won't. We'll save you from that misery. You've got 90 minutes of these dulcet tones anyway. The last thing you want is me singing in your ear. Huddle Magazine, at Huddle Magazine, they will be bringing the last minute news around about 20 past 5 as well. Says Arian Foster even is questionable, been out on the field running, but more on his status later. So if you're looking for last minute news towards kickoff, we will bring you that via Huddle. And fantasy questions, if you've got time, there's still time, 2 hours before kickoff or just under, get them over to at Dundee NFL, and Simon will be bringing you his tips and fantasy FUDs round about 5 o'clock. So keep those tweets coming at Zone Coverage FS. I'm also going to check in on the Spreaker app. The chat room has opened up there. It says Noel here in the chat room. Hello all. I'm here as usual. Just got over my £170 losses in the Thursday night football. So Noel likes a gamble. So if anyone could, he might need some tips at Blue Lion Man. The chat room is open there on the Spreaker app. So let's delve into some NFL news. NFL news. It's only a matter of time before my fat fingers press the wrong button. Hopefully you'll notice on the sounds and that today, we do get a little bit of echo back now and again. I've got a new setup, so I'm trying that out. So if there's a little pause longer than normal, I'm just looking for a button to press. So I don't know why I felt the need to explain that, but it's just there. Anyway, right, on to the news. Colts running back Ahmad Bradshaw fractured his fibula. He's now out for the season. It was announced on Tuesday that he's been placed on IR. Colts running game is a mess with Trent, the 1 yard wonder Richardson. One yard wonder, that's probably a bit generous. But yeah, Colts Ahmad Bradshaw is done for the year. Talking of running backs, Monty Ball looks set to miss 2 or 3 weeks after aggravating a groin issue in a defeat to the Rams last week. Cracking game of football that was, by the way, and very odd that they kept rolling Monty out. Clearly struggling, but hey-ho. Right then, on to the Cleveland Browns. Simon will tell you they are his Cleveland Browns. Is the Browns season on the brink of collapse? Timmy Mallet, as in Ryan Mallet, got his first win of the season. So I did have a Mallet noise somewhere, but we'll get to that in a moment. the point I was trying to make about the Browns, as linebacker Carlos Dansby is expected to miss a month with a knee injury, and pass rusher Jabal Sheard will be out for some time. I've not seen any more news on that because I was in the mosh pit last night. Yes, went to a gig in Oxford, watched the Pretty Reckless, so that was kind of awesome. The wife will tell you a story where her ears were bleeding and she detested every second, so I may have missed out on some news from like Saturday and today onwards, so just bear with me on that front. Damn good gig, by the way. Recommend you go and check those out. Right then, away from music, back to the NFL news. Item number 4 on the docket. Yes, the Falcons have placed running back Anton Smith on IR after he suffered a broken leg in last Sunday's win over the Panthers. Oh, I forgot to do this as well. Damn it, it's been too busy this past week. Josh Gordon is back today. He has been reinstated by the league following his 10-game suspension for substance abuse. So that is going to be interesting to see what Josh Gordon will bring to the table there. Saints rookie wide receiver Brandon Cooks will be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken thumb. And the Adrian Peterson saga continues. It was announced Tuesday that he will now be suspended for the remainder of the season without pay, and he can't be considered for reinstatement until April of next year. This AP stuff, yeah, we all know what he's done, completely and utterly wrong and all that. Sick to death of hearing about it. Will he be back with the Vikings? Who knows what's going to happen there? It's just a complete mess. So Adrian Peterson, you've only got yourself to blame on that front, I'm afraid. So will he return next year? Vikings, different team, and who take him? I would imagine quite a lot of people are taking. Will it have settled down via then? That's maybe a talking point for another show, in fairness. I'm not really up for talking about that. That has been done to death. Right then, the Browns, more Browns news here. They waived running back Ben Tate after 10 games. Tate was Richardson-esque, you could say. The Vikings had then put in a claim for Tate, and they picked him up off the waivers. So AP, that was a nice segue. I didn't even realise I'd segued there. Awesome stuff. All right then, the Steelers released a running back LeGarrette Blount. That was after the Monday night game where he just left the field. Just decided, that's it, I'm done, I'm going home, I am bored, whatever. He's then re-signed with the Pats. That happened on Thursday. So LeGarrette Blount back with the Patriots. Didn't want to pay him the big money last year. Went to the Steelers. Was a bit of an idiot. Got him back on the cheap. So just waiting for that playoff game where the Pats hammer home 4 rushing touchdowns and everyone hails Bill Belichick, the genius of the NFL, for the 1 millionth time on the bounce. Not that I'm a bitter Jets fan or anything, but I'm getting kind of sick of hearing that. On to the Panthers. They have waived wide receiver Jason Avant. The Colts have signed return specialist Josh Cribbs. Josh Cribbs was with the Jets earlier in the year. He was mediocre in fairness, but the Colts need a little bit of something else rather than Andrew Luck having to carry the team on his back week after week after week because he's got no running game. He throws 1 or 2 more picks than he probably should do because he's having to air out the ball. And people are maybe unfairly getting on Andrew Luck's back. Thoughts on that, people? 0161 818 4593 at Zone Coverage FS on Twitter. Where are we now? Yes, this is the one. Unlike me, Marshawn Lynch has the amazing ability to keep his mouth shut. He's been fined now $100,000 for avoiding the media. And the breakdown of this goes $50,000 basically for not speaking after Sunday's game. And he was warned about this last year where they put like a $50,000 fine sort of on hold. It's like, Marshawn, if you don't talk, we're going to whack you with a big fine. Obviously, he didn't answer, so $100,000 lighter he is, but I'm sure that mini holdout he had towards the beginning of the season, what's $100,000 to Marshawn Lynch? So, and Marshawn Lynch, is he done? Well, there's a lot of reports saying that he's done now up in Seattle, so we shall see how that goes. The Jets-Bills game has been moved to Monday night in Detroit. There's been what looks like about 50 foot of snow dropped in Buffalo over the course of this past week. So if we randomly do have any listeners in Buffalo, hope everyone is safe and that it just looks utter madness. I've seen pictures on Instagram and NFL websites. The Bills players seem to be having an abundance of fun and fairness, and I do hope that fun does affect their performance against the Jets on Monday night. I do believe that tickets for that game are free, so if you are in the Detroit area, go and watch the Jets-Bills, a divisional game, for 0 cents. So I have been, I actually had a look out of curiosity. Last minute flights to Detroit. You'd think if you went tomorrow morning it'd be nice and cheap, about 900 quid. So ridiculous. So that's that plan out the window. Right then, let's get back to where we were. A bit of history was made on Thursday night. Not only did the Raiders knock off the Chiefs, but Charles Woodson became the first player in NFL history to record 50 interceptions and 20 sacks. This after he sacked Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith during the 24-20 victory. And the Chiefs, I was so impressed by the Chiefs last week. I watched that Seahawks-Chiefs game, and I love old school smash mouth football. For me, that was football in heaven. You can have your 50-point blowouts and all that. I'm running up the middle, between the A-gaps, stop me if you can. And both teams, it was brutal, it was fantastic stuff. Loved it. More of that, please, for me. And that just about wraps up your news. I've probably missed a few bits and bobs over the last Saturday and a little earlier today from travelling back from Oxford. So I do apologise, but I'm sure that Tom from At Huddle Magazine will dig me out of that hole in round about an hour or so's time. I can see that the Twitter feed has been rather active, so has the chat room. So I'll check in on the Spreaker chat room first. Yes, Noel and Scott, they are going at it on there. They're talking betting and stuff. And also, Noel says AP must be the biggest fantasy bust of the year. Noel does a lot of betting, in fairness. There's a lot of people picking up. Yeah, they're having a good chat about the fantasy football in the chat room there on the Spreaker app. So get over to that. It's free to register for Spreaker, by the way. I think you can just sign up if you've got Facebook and all that. Click, doesn't cost you nothing. Listen to the show live via Spreaker, and then you can go on the app. You can listen when you're on your phone, out and about, and stuff like that. So great stuff there, guys. I can't really type and keep an eye on everything. I'll try my best, but just bear with me on that front. Jumping back then to Twitter, because I can see we've got a few notifications there. Right then, we do have, Steve Owens at StevieBoy27. When Jay Cutler called at the Bears punter a few weeks ago, do you think he was being serious or joking? Jay Cutler calling out someone. I would imagine he was probably being serious, knowing Cutler. Then again, he's got this weird demeanour, hasn't he? He sort of looks like he doesn't give a flying, basically, Cutler. But he always looks like that. So I don't know if that's just how he is, and it's sort of, is it portrayed wrongly, which was sort of my point earlier on, but Steve Owens also says he likes Cutler the QB but not a person, #villain. So he sort of like divides opinion, doesn't he, really, there, Cutler? So was he calling out the punter, but is he being serious or joking? I don't know. Was it maybe a shot at sort of Manning because he called out the scoreboard person, or what? I honestly don't know. Someone else got called out. Was it who missed the field goals in a game a few weeks back now? I don't actually have the quotes on the weekend words. The mind goes blank at times. Right then. So that is, keep the tweets coming in, by the way. What is it now? Zone Coverage FS, and Spreaker, tune in. Fingers crossed you're all doing that. The number again for the hot route, 01618184593. Right then, I'm probably going to drop now the most cringe-worthy moments in history. And so you're going to have to bear with me, but this is going to be the Week in Words feature. And I'm not going to lie, I pre-recorded this little bit, so it's about an 8-minute snippet because I can't do accents, so I had to go. So this is for totally your enjoyment only, so just please, just sit back, enjoy this, and let's just see the fallout after this. So enjoy. And on to the Week in Words. The good thing about like this radio show and stuff, it's sort of like helped me connect with a variety of people, not just in the UK but around the world, and it's been absolutely fantastic. It's one of the joys that I have, and the phone call last week from Ashley in Minnesota sort of like highlighted that point. But the week in words segment that I do, just read out the coach and, well, what's gone on, and then the coach. And I got a complaint basically saying there was no sort of difference between the two. So this complaint come from someone claiming to be like a long lost relative over in Texas. So some sort of like second, third stroke cousin. So I introduced you to a long lost relative by, I don't know how that this happened and how we got in touch. Well, I do know how we got in touch. You tweeted me, so yeah. But yeah, this sort of happened, and this is my my Texas cousin. So he wants to be known as Texas Teece. So hello, Texas Teece.
Hey Mark, how's it going? Thanks for having me on the show to read out the quotes this week. Hopefully we can add a bit of authenticity with a bit of American accent.
No, thank you for coming on there, Texas Teece. So is that like your first name, Texas?
Yes, sir, Texas. Surname Teece.
Okay then. So Texas Teece, what we're going to do is I'll sort of read whatever the little intro is to that, and I shall leave the pronunciation and American twist / authenticity edge to yourself, if that's good with you.
That is absolutely fine.
I must say though, I'm struggling with this sort of Texas accent. Is it an exact Texas accent? Are you from Texas?
Are you questioning my authenticity, Mr. Teece?
No, I'd never ever do that, but it just sounds a little iffy.
Well, let me tell you something. First off, reading from a script and doing an accent is extremely difficult, and not laughing is also another difficult element to consider, and sometimes that makes me flustered, and as you can probably tell, the accent tends to wane up and down a little, so just bear with me, but we'll get this down, don't you worry. Our Texas Teece never lets anyone down.
Okay, then let's get on to the first week in work, and this week in words, I should say. This comes from Redskins head coach Jay Gruden on RG3's continued struggles.
Before we get into that, Mark, I call RG3 Triclops.
Triclops?
Yeah, he's got 3 eyes. RGII. It's on his shirt, bro. Are you blind?
Okay then, so this is Jay Gruden on Triclops.
Robert had some fundamental flaws. His footwork was below average. He took 3-step drops when he should have taken 5. He took a 1-step drop when he should have taken 3. And on a couple of occasions, that just can't happen. He stepped up when he didn't have to step up. And he stepped into pressure. He read the wrong side of the field a couple of times. So, from his basic performance, just critiquing Robert, he wasn't close to good enough to what we expect from the quarterback position.
Wow, strong stuff there from Jay Gruden. RGII, or the Triclops, as you refer to him as, Texas Teece, had this then to say on the loss.
If you want to look at the good teams in this league and the great quarterbacks, the Paytons, Aaron Rodgers, those guys don't play well. If their guys don't play well, they don't. We need everybody. I need every one of those guys in that locker room, and I know they're looking at me saying the same thing.
Yeah, they certainly are, Robert. Cyclops, whatever you want to be called. So yeah, that was sort of the back and forth that went on, and yet it took an even further twist then on Wednesday as Jay Gruden come out and apologised. He had this to say.
I think it was a mistake on my part. After a loss like that, we're very disappointed in the way we played, and the question came up about how we played and all that stuff from that. I just answered with the first thing that came in my mind, and sometimes the first thing that comes in your mind isn't the smartest thing. It wasn't the right thing to do on my part.
Yeah, I'm sort of getting the feeling that doing the right thing and not the things that come to mind may sort of reflect this feature perfectly. That is the RG3 madness, and Jay Gruden, Washington Redskins, is a mess there. So let's move on to the next quote from our Weekend Words segment then. We had Jeremy Macklin on the Eagles' defeat to the Packers.
The way we played today, it wouldn't matter if we played Oakland, who hasn't won a game yet. Well, step out of quote 1 second. They won on Thursday. Woohoo! Anyway, back to quote. They would have beat the hell out of us too. We just didn't play well.
Texas Teece, nice bit of improvisation there. So yeah, the next quote I got up was Golden Tate on his old Seahawks teammates.
Their problem? Oh no, sorry. Their problem? They don't have me up here Harvin. They thought they had 5, 6, 7 top receivers to choose from in the draft class, so there wasn't a need to pay a lot of money when you can get a rookie for pennies, I guess, relatively speaking. So maybe that's why they let me go.
Yeah, so interesting stuff from Golden Tate then. The Seahawks clearly are missing those guys. Next up then, we have Frank Gore. So this is what Frank Gore had to say, really, sort of sensing the end.
Oh, wow, that was a bit squeaky. I'd love to go back here, but they got younger guys, Gore said. I shouldn't read Gore said. Anyway, you know how they feel about running back? That's why each week I go out to play for my team and to play for myself. And also to show other teams I can still be Frank Gore.
Wow. Not really sure. But yeah, is the end near for Frank Gore? Next up then, and our last quote of the week is Darrelle Revis on the upcoming matchup against Calvin Johnson. So this is Revis on Megatron.
It's like an alternative universe receiver. Yeah, that don't make sense. It's like an alternative universe that you want. So you can create him on a video game. That is basically what he is. I have that's wrong. I have a lot of respect for him. I feel like our defense has a lot of respect for him. He has a lot of respect around the league as well.
Right then. Okay, so Texas Teece, I thank you for coming on, and I'm not sure what the reaction will be. Someone's either going to ring not a white van, because that'd be weird if a white van man come to pick me up. But yeah, some people in white coats may come to pick you up, Texas Teece. So what do you have planned for today?
Nothing.
Oh, awesome stuff. So will we catch you next week?
We'll see how people love me. You know how they react. Sometimes there's like the weird crossover from the US to the UK. People don't get my sense of humor at times. But anyway, thanks for having me on, and yeehaw!
Wow, so that was the Weekend Words there, and we shall join back to the show, and we'll keep things going in a nice, sensible theme here with the love line. My God. Right then, just listening back to that was absolutely cringeworthy my end, and I don't know if Texas Teece is ever going to return. I have no idea why. I thought that this would be a good idea, but what are we, 17 episodes in, and I just thought, you know what, let's take a balls to the wall approach with this and just go with the flow and just do a randomly stupid accent, because I listened back to one the other week, and it was just like this was the quote, and then this was the statement, and then the quote after, and it just sounded too just monotonous. So I just thought, right then, let's just prove a point and just say to everyone, look, I'm absolutely mental, clearly lost the plot. And the response on Twitter has been pretty good, and on in the chat room as well from Scott and everyone. So will Texas Teece return? I have no idea. If you loved it, if you hated it, do not be shy. I don't care. You just see me. I've just put myself out there. So if you think it's an absolutely ridiculous idea, hit me up. Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. Right then, I have been retweeting a few of the tweets that have been coming in. So it gives me the opportunity, whilst that was playing, to interact a little more. So that was another reason for doing that, in fairness, as well. So when we've had Nick Cork, who's coming on to represent the Redskins, he's been retweeting like crazy. At Eurojets, hashtag Texas Teece, hashtag cringe. So Will Davis, not only a hat rack, says it sounds like you have the creepy old bloke from Family Guy reading those quotes out. That is bang on. That does sound like that. And Marty at Toontown says, holy crap, Mark, is Texas Teece really Yosemite Sam? Hashtag a dodgy accent. So if nothing else, we've created a bit of fun and banter on a Sunday afternoon. So Biff Sweeney as well, appreciate the tweet, Biff. He's catching the show back as a podcast tomorrow. Ron as well says, stick to podcasting, leave the impressions to Mike Yarwood. So Marty did ask what was the hot route. Again, the hot route at the top of the show was media heroes and villains. Basically, I was asking the question, does your sort of media group, whatever, do they paint this certain picture and perception of people? I bang on a lot about the New York media. They seem to feed misery, and I do believe that that's happening now in New York as well. They feed in, and not in New York, sorry, in Chicago with Jay Cutler. And then Matt Ryan, the numbers are similar, but Matt Ryan is like, oh, Matt Ryan's a cool guy, and don't say nothing bad about him. I'd like someone to just slate Matt Ryan to his face and see if we can sort of kick a bit of personality out of him, something like that. He just needs shaking for me. Shake some life into the lad. So right then, that was your weekend words. Will Texas Teece, is he one and done? I have no idea. Just keep the tweets coming. And I am absolutely mental. So that's confirmed, in fairness. The Niners, Nick is representing the Niners. I probably said the Redskins. I'm flustered, in fairness. That whole 8 minutes then was like the longest 8 minutes of my life, in fairness. So let's delve in then to the Love Line. So let's get the ball rolling with the Love Line.
Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show Love Line.
So, from dodgy accents to dodgy 70s porn music, we have the Love Line feature, and quite possibly the best segue I've ever done. 17 weeks in, we are slowly but surely getting there with some professionalism. That's a bit of a stretch, in fairness. But anyway, the Love Line goes like this. I'm aware we've got a few new listeners today, so the Love Line's not a dating theme. I keep saying it week after week. You've got alcohol, Friday, Saturday nights, and a variety of websites for all that sort of shenanigans. The Love Line is where we shout out the big guys on the line, the D linemen and the O linemen. I say time and time again, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, even the cornerbacks, they're in on these big money contracts. They're your poster boys, your pin-up boys. They seem to grab more attentions and more headlines and highlights than the guys on the line. But without these guys on the line that battle in the trenches week after week, opening up the holes for these star running backs and that, they wouldn't have the adulation and praise that they get. So it's only fair that we give a little bit of love back to these unsung heroes on the line. And I've said many a time before, I cannot name every person on everyone's line. That'd be beyond geeky, in fairness. So not only do you learn a little bit of something, I learn a bit of something. You can also nominate some linemen in your team that maybe we're not all familiar with. And then you can go down the pub and you can just go and just wait. No, you don't go and wait down the pub. You can go and brag down the pub. Talking of Love Line, it says Noel on the chat room in Spreaker says, Love Line doesn't work for me. He's still waiting for his lioness. We did put out a shout out for the At Blue Lion, man. He's still searching. So I do hope that figures itself out, Noel. I'm sure it will. Anyway, back to the Love Line. Our first nominee or mention or bit of love, or however you want to dress it up, is Andrew Whitworth. He's a guard for the Cincinnati Bengals. He is 6'7", 330 pounds. He was born in Monroe, Louisiana. Played his college ball for Louisiana State. He was redshirted for his freshman year, then went on to start every game the following season. Won the BCS national title in 2003, and during his college days, he went 22 games without giving up a sack. Wow. A Jets O-line can't go 22 minutes without giving one up. But that's another story. Right then, he was then selected by the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round of the 2006 draft, number 55 overall. He's been an integral part of the Bengals line and was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2012. During his career, his entire career spent with the Bengals, he's played 130 games, put my teeth back in, starting 126 of them. So that is Andrew Whitworth, guard for the Bengals. So, Andrew Whitworth, we send you some love, sir. Our next and last person on the love line this week is DeMar Dotson, a tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another small youth here, 6'9", that's ridiculous. 315 pounds. That's ridiculous as well. Born in Alexandria, Louisiana, played his college ball for Southern Mississippi. Went undrafted, actually, in 2009 before being signed by the Bucs. Played in 9 games during his rookie season, and finally made his first start for the team in 2011. He's firmly, oh my word, Texas Teece has thrown me. I can't speak today. He's firmly established himself over the course of the last 3 seasons, starting in all but one game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that is DeMar Dotson, tackle for the Bucs, and Andrew Whitworth, a guard for the Bengals. You guys feature on today's Love Line.
Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show Love Line.
Just wanted to play that once more. I just needed a drink, in fairness. Right then, Twitter is busy again today. Last couple of weeks, Twitter's really taken off. So has the chat room, and there, Noel and Scott are going absolutely berserk in the chat room there. So appreciate the banter coming back and forth there, guys. The latest one from Scott says, "I'm married, so always turn off during this feature." Fair enough, Scott. Even though we're not after women, it's praise for the big guys on the line. Right now, what do we have coming up? We are 37 minutes into the show, so reaching the midway point now. We have the Fantasy 5 at 5 coming up. Simon from at Dundee NFL, the Fourth Down and Out podcast. He will be on with his latest fantasy advice and stuff. So there's still time and fairness to get any questions over. I'll jot them down and we can ask as we go. We have the Fan versus Fan, a little later than usual this week. That'll be coming up in around about 7 or 8 minutes, where we have Nick representing the 49ers and Tom representing the Redskins. I got it right this time, so improvement there. Right then, what else do we have? Let's get into the fixtures. Let's tell you who's on the TV, what sort of time, and we'll look at that and then the standings if we've got time before we get to the Fan versus Fan. So we do have, I was actually talking to Noel, Blue Lion Man. We've got irons in the fire for I can't remember what the holiday's called. Thanksgiving. Yes, Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday. I've got 3 games on Sky. So me and Noel, we're going to drop a show in the afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, it's looking like. So we're still working that out. It's probably just going to be an hour, possibly live, possibly a podcast. We're going to figure something out. So we want to do like a Thanksgiving sort of special. We want to do like the history of basically not the holiday and the games and how America sits down and enjoys that holiday. So that's what we're going to do. Give a little bit of hopefully a bit of insight, and I'll be learning stuff myself, in fairness, because I'm quite ignorant. It's just on the telly. It's Thanksgiving, so I might educate myself as we go. So that's what we got planned for Thursday. And if you are randomly listening on a Monday, Tuesday, just in case you want to know, those Thursday games you've got, they're all on Sky, by the way. We've got the Bears at Lions, that is 5:30, Eagles at Cowboys, 9:30, and then the Seahawks 49ers at 1:30 a.m. So that's this upcoming Thursday. But before all that, we have, oh God, where's it gone now? Yes, fixtures. Kansas City Chiefs at Oakland went down on Thursday night. The Chiefs, congratulations, not to the Chiefs, sorry, to the Raiders. I'm happy. I'm mixed emotions. I fancied the Chiefs are just upsetting everything and going on a bit of a run and maybe topping the Broncos and Chargers, because I myself slagged the Chiefs off at the beginning of the year, give them zero opportunity. Zero chance to make an impression, but they've proved me wrong, and I have to hold my hands up and say, yeah, I was wrong, Chiefs fans and that. But yeah, the Raiders for Derek Carr, fantastic first win for the rookie quarterback. Bit of fighting spirit there. I don't like to see a team go 0-16. That's tough to do, and it's brutal. So happy as hell for the Raiders fans out there. And I do know that Raider Tim, I've actually been in touch with him a few times via Twitter. I can imagine he's extremely happy. So Raiders fans, rejoice. Enjoy it, and the more you win, it gives my Jets a better chance of getting the number 1 overall pick, in fairness. So a completely selfish outlook my part. Right then, games today then. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Atlanta Falcons. We have the Tennessee Titans. They take on the Philadelphia Eagles. We have the Lions at the Pats today. That's on Sky, is it? No, I've got this written down. Completely wrong. Oh, we haven't. No, I haven't. Lions are at Pats. Yes, that's your 6 o'clock game on Sky. So Lions, Pats. Get and watch that. I would imagine that Noel is watching that and probably invested financially as well, as Noel tends to do. Green Bay at Minnesota is your next game up today. Then we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. We have the Bengals at the Texans. Jets and Bills, that is now scheduled for Monday, so that takes place in Detroit Monday night. I do believe that's still shown on DirecTV. I know there's a few Americans moaning about that, so that is still free on. I think they have Sunday tickets, something like that, so no need to worry about that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got the Chicago Bears. I fancy the Bucs today for an upset, just so the Chicago media can go crazy at Cutler again. I find that quite funny. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Seattle Seahawks. I think they can clinch the division today, if memory serves me correct. So that for me could be an absolutely belting game as well. And we have the St. Louis Rams, who their defense has suddenly turned up over the course of the last 4 weeks. Robert Quinn, who I touted for Defensive Player of the Year at the beginning of the year, seems to have found his groove. So that's all coming together now. Chargers, basically must-win game for them because that division is hotting up. We have the Miami Dolphins at the Denver Broncos. That is your 9:25 game on Sky. So that, again, interesting game as well. We have the Washington Redskins at the San Francisco 49ers, which is a perfect transition into the fan versus fan coming up in a couple of minutes. And then we have another belting game. Good fixtures again this week. We have the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants, so we can watch Eli Manning look like he's trying to push one out with that face. Do anyone not agree with that? It looks hard done to Eli Manning when he's got that confused, dazed look, but that is your 1:30 a.m. game. That is on Channel 4, so 1:30 in the morning, so that's your late game. And then your Monday night game is the Baltimore Ravens at the New Orleans Saints. Will the Saints lose 3 at home on the bounce? And I can't remember the last time that happened, in fairness. That's something I maybe should have written down, and maybe I could have sounded like a really smart person, but with Texas Teece, the smart person and all that sort of went out the window 20-25 minutes ago. So those are your fixtures today. Again, Sky, Lions, Pats is your 6 games. Dolphins, Broncos even. That's your 9:25 game on Sky. Then we switch to Channel 4, 1:30 in the morning for those of you pulling an all-nighter. Cowboys at Giants. Then your Ravens Saints, that's on TV Monday/Tuesday morning, 1:30 a.m. That is on Eurosport. So that brings us up to date with your fixtures. Your standings, we'll probably do the standings in a little moment, in fairness. Same with the, the playoff picture. We'll delve into that in a little bit. I'm just sort of panning for the next couple of minutes. Let's jump back in on Twitter. That is at Zone Coverage FS. Got a couple of mentions here. Again, the Scott mentions. Actually, jumping back to the Spreaker app for 1 second, says play all Jags. That's in regards to, the Fantasy 5 at 5 classic quote that's achieved legendary status with play all Giants. Again, from a few weeks back. So Noel, he says, I'm not happy, bets down, and I'm desperate for another team to go 0-16 and doesn't want to be the fan of the only winless team. So yes, Noel's Lions team went 0-16. We'll whisper that because I would imagine that still burns deep down. So back to Twitter then, Zone Coverage FS. So Nick, who is on in a moment, actually been tweeting like a madman. Much appreciated there, sir. At Huddle Magazine, Arian Foster for the Texans and Reggie Bush for the Lions, both inactive today. More on Foster, particularly when he calls in. So we do have the latest news coming from at Huddle Magazine in around about 35 minutes or so. So we're at that time now. It is, 4:45. We have fan versus fan segment, and I did make a sounder for this. I'm desperate for a drink, so I'm choking. So the sounder for the fan versus fan, I can't even find it. So this is fantastic stuff. Where's that gone? Here we go. Press the F button.
The type of hit that causes mass confusion and drastic movement of people acting stupid. It's fight music.
Right then, it's fight music. But there's going to be no sort of fight. It's just an exchange of pleasant words, fingers crossed. So I'm going to ring first Nick. So if you are standing by your Skype, I will hit the Skype button, sir, and we shall have a little natter. So if you do have the app on in the background, you may have to turn it off, otherwise I get some really bad echo. So just a heads up there, sir. So Nick, I am calling you now. Nick is representing the 49ers today. So just waiting for Nick to grab his phone. There's usually a little bit of delay on these, so just bear with me while I sort of just fill. No, we're getting no answer. Nick. Oh, we got no answer there, sir. Oh, I'll try you again in 1 moment. Right then, so just keep those tweets coming in. Hello?
Hey Mark, how you doing?
I'm very well, Nick. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Good. Just appreciate you coming on the show today, obviously representing the San Francisco 49ers. So I shall give you the floor. Tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into the game, 49ers fan, whatever you like.
Right, okay, well, I'm 47, so I'm quite old. And
you beat me to the punch there.
I've lived through the good times, I've lived through the bad times, seen all 5 Super Bowl wins. And, we're on a quest for 6. I played middle linebacker for the Eastbourne Crusaders and the Maidstone M20s.
Nice.
I've seen the good. Joe Montana, I've seen the bad, Elvis Gerback. So, been there, seen it, done it.
Brutal. So, I know you're 47, but are your playing days over then?
I'm pretty much like Richard Seymour shape at the moment. So, Give me over 5 yards, I'd probably make an impact, but over 10, I'd probably need to get on the oxygen these days.
Yeah, gas and air needed.
Exactly.
Right then, brilliant stuff. Anything else you want to add to that, Nick? Is this the first time you've checked out the show?
Yeah. Obviously, we sort of hooked up Friday. I didn't even know this show was around. But I've been listening since you started at 4, and I checked out a bit earlier. Good show, good knowledge. I've got, obviously, you've seen Twitter. I've got some guys in America tuning in, listening right now, and they're probably not understanding a word I say, or they think I'm Australian. But apart from that, it's all good.
You get that a lot, don't you, when you go to the States? Are you Australian? It's quite a good one, there.
Yeah, it's not bad considering we don't sound anything like Australians.
Yeah, that's always the irony in it, isn't it?
Indeed.
Right then, what I'm going to do, Nick, I'm going to try and get Tom on the line now. So this is the part, it's a one-man show, my end, so I have to sort of juggle bits and bobs round. So there might be a little moment of silence, but well, just bear with me is what I'm trying to say. So I should have if I can find his... it's Tom, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking for Tom. So, yeah, here we go. Oh, wrong person. I had to call Tom. So, yeah, just waiting for Tom to answer now. He was out and about. I think he was just finishing work. That's why I had to bump the feature back a few moments. So, we are waiting for Tom. I think we've got a sort of... Tom actually plays quarterback for the London Blitz. So, hello, is that Tom?
Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm very, very well. Nick is already on the line. So, Nick, Tom, Nick.
There you go, mate. You're right.
Yeah, how you doing, Tom? You all right?
I'm not looking forward to the game, but yeah, I'm all right apart from that.
Brilliant. Right, Tom, I gave Nick the floor earlier on, so the floor is now yours, sir. If you want to tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into the game. Obviously, I've read your Twitter bio, and you do actually play QB, so go for it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, just got into the game I'm 20 now. I got into the game a few years back. My dad's always watched it. And, just jumped in, started playing for the Essex Spartans, moved over to the London Blitz. I've won junior championship there. I've represented Great Britain. Just started playing up at uni now, so plenty still to come.
Nice, good stuff. Any tragic injuries or anything like that? Have you been lucky enough to avoid all that?
Very lucky. I've done with thumb on the throwing hand a couple of times, but nothing too serious.
Ah, brilliant. Right then, so I shall lay out how this is going to go. Basically, you guys are going to get 2 minutes each to put forward your best case. I'll let you have a pleasant exchange of words at the end after you've said what you've got to say. And then we'll put it out to the voters, in fairness, and then we'll give them about 20, 25 minutes. The guy with the most votes, I'll give you a ring back, and we'll have a little chit-chat afterwards, if that sounds good with you both.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That's cool.
Right, brilliant. As I rung Nick first, I will let you go first, sir. Actually, I won't let you go first. I'll let you call the coin. I'm one step ahead of myself. Heads or tails, Nick?
I'm going to go tails.
Right, then here we go. Oh, it's actually tails. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll let Tom have the floor. I'll go second.
Everyone defers. Right then, Tom, the floor is yours. Defend your Redskins.
Fair enough. They need a bit of defending. The Redskins are going to win this game because Alfred Morris is due a big game. We've sat there, we've watched him try all season. It's not happened. He hasn't yet had a 100-yard game. Okay, we're talking about a guy over the last 2 years, the only guy with more yards in the NFL is Adrian Peterson. Alfred Morris is due a big game. They're going to bust out today against the Niners. We all know the Niners offensively, they're going to hand it off. They're 7th in the league in rushing yards. They're all the way down in 23rd in pass yards, if you look at the stats. So we know what we're going to get from them. The Redskins have got a lot more unpredictability. You know, we've got a lot more things we can do with our offense. We're going to miss Jordan Reed at tight end today, again. Injured again, but can't odds that. Deshaun Jackson all season long has been an absolute machine. And I don't think there's anyone in the league better at getting down the field than Deshaun Jackson at the minute, to be honest. RG3, he's had all the shenanigans in the media again, but to be honest, I think that'll be sorted behind closed doors. What goes on in locker rooms, you know, gets spoken about between players. He's going to come out today, and we're going to do all right.
Is that it, sir?
Pretty much all I got, yeah.
All right, short but sweet and to the point. I like that. Right, then I shall reset the clock, and then it's over to you, Nick. So go for it, 49ers.
Yeah, Tom, very good speech. Obviously, you've heard of Chris Ball and the Smith brothers, Anton Bethea, and Ray McDonald on D. They're coming after RG3 today. Forget it. Nothing's going to happen. We may be a run-first team, but you're not going to stop Gore. That's not going to happen. Come on, man. Seriously. We got Kaepernick, we got Crabtree, we got Gore. Vernon Davis is coming for you guys today. Remember that name, Vernon Davis. It's not going to happen. Your D will not stop our offense. We got fourth quarter problems, but we'll put up enough points in the first three that the fourth quarter is going to be garbage time. So all I need to say is just watch our D eat up RG3. My bold prediction is a 50 burger for the Niners and 8 sacks.
Wow. Wow. Right then, I'll let you guys, if you want to respond to each other, and keep it pleasant, please.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I just think the Redskins are a 3-7 team that are a few plays away from being 500. We're capable of winning games. We beat the Cowboys with Colt McCoy, okay, in Dallas on Monday night. They're one of the better teams in the league right now. I think we lost to the Seahawks by about 3 points. We've been so close. Or we just about lost to the Cardinals, who are one of the best as well. We've been so close to being 500 this year. If we sort out the little mental errors, we can actually get something going.
Do you not think, though, Tom, one of your mental errors is your coach and your QB at odds this week? I know they both come out and apologise and things like that. But, man, seriously, things are not right in Washington. Alfred Morris, yeah, he's a good running back, but he isn't Frank Gore. And we've got 3rd overall defence, I believe. 5 picks last week, admittedly not against a very good team, and we didn't put points up. But I can see this being a blowout, and it's only going to go one way.
Right then, gentlemen, both really good cases, good points. What I've just done, I've sent out a tweet. Very creative, my end. It's basically hashtag Tom or hashtag Nick. If you can get your fellow people to tweet in at the show, retweets and favourites and stuff will not count. It's got to be a direct tweet at Zone Coverage FS. I'll give you to around about 5:15. And I'll collate all the votes, ring the winner back, and good luck to you both. And I really, really appreciate you both coming on the show today. And at some point outside of the fan versus fan, if you want to come on and talk about your respective teams, feel free to do so. I'd love to talk more with you both.
I appreciate your time, Mark. Good luck, Tom. Good luck, mate.
And to yourself. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that.
Brilliant.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys. Hopefully I shall speak to one of you in around about 20-25 minutes. And thanks again for coming on the show.
All right, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.
Brilliant stuff, and that was Tom and Nick there. So some great points. The fan versus fan, it's an absolute nightmare at times to get people to come on. And if you've got friends that are into the NFL and they support a team, just tweet at me, fan versus fan. Do the hashtag, and I've started putting together a list now of everyone, every team and stuff. So if we can get that going, because I'm having to tweet the hell out of people, and it's probably annoying the crap out of them, in fairness. So if I could get that sorted rather than rushing around on a Saturday night and trying to get everything together, it'd be much appreciated. So if you want me on fan versus fan, you want to register for your team, hit me on Twitter at Zone Coverage FS. And as I did say, the hashtag Tom, representing the Redskins today, got great points, and hashtag Nick representing the 49ers today. So I shall collate those as we go. We are 3 minutes away now from the fantasy FUDs, or the fantasy advice from mine's gone blank, Simon from oh my god, mine's gone blank, Simon from Dundee NFL. That's it. Right. Here we go. So, 3 minutes, so I shall keep those going. Right, what else do we have? We've gone through the fixtures. I've got a few mentions, actually, a few shout-outs that I've seen from throughout the course of the week. Right, oh yes, I had a really good tweet the other day from John Websdale. He tweeted me saying he's new to the NFL and is learning about the NFL via the show. So that was a fantastic tweet. So John Websdale, welcome aboard, sir, and welcome to the fantastic and wonderful world that is Pigskin. His Twitter handle is a newbie, so take it easy with him. If he's got a few questions, or you can point him to a site for beginners or whatever, you got some advice and stuff, it's at JPW29. And also Scott mentioned last week about teams and for what was it now, rookie tryouts and stuff. Manchester Titans actually tweeted at me. They are doing a rookie like a rookie program that happens next Sunday the 30th of November at the AJ Bell Stadium. So at Manchester Titan is their Twitter handle. And if your team, as I said before, tweet at me when you've got rookie camps and stuff coming up, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to spread the word about your recruitment drives there. We had Charlie Andrews, who was on Fan vs. Fan a few weeks ago, has been tweeting at me. Gary Jordan, been very active as always, Gary, so I appreciate the tweets there. Ashley Allen, who was on last week from Minnesota, at Patriots Fan 90. Will Davies, Cameron, Stephen Fuller, Scott, Marty, Noel. I've got like a good usual little crowd now, so that's great stuff. Simon, if you are listening, sir, I'm ready for the Fantasy 5 at 5 if you are. So Twitter's going crazy, so I need to play catch up on that. I would assume that is votes and fairness. So here we go. Right then. So as we are waiting Simon's call, shall we have a look? Let's delve into... Shall we look at now? What do I have in front of me? Where are my notes gone? There's that many buttons here. His fat fingers bash on about 4 at one go, and things go boobs up. Oh, phone's ringing. Hello.
Hi, Mark, it's Simon.
Perfect timing, sir. That is absolutely bang on 5 o'clock.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're nailing this now. I dropped the word professional earlier, but that might be a stretch.
Well, I'm surprised you could remember who I was, to be honest. Took you a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I'll never forget you, mate. It's not that bad. Right then, before we get some pleasantries out the way, let's play a little theme tune. If I can find the correct button, it should go like that. Oh, it's a little quiet. I can hear it my end. You probably can't your end. Anyway, that was the little...
Just about, Mark.
Yeah, that was the Kinks, wasn't it? We did find out. Yeah, the Kinks rock and roll fantasy. So, Simon, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you very much. It seems a while since we've spoken.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. What have you been up to the last few weeks?
Oh, a lot of building work going on in the house. So I'm having sort of a dining room and a kitchen sort of brought into one to make it a whole kitchen diner. So the back part of the house is well, it's not too bad at the moment, but it's been sort of a pile of rubble, shall we say, over the last 10 days or so. So dust everywhere, so I'm caked in dust as we talk. But apart from that, yeah, pretty good actually.
Yeah, it sounds absolute bedlam. You brave man taking that on then a few weeks before Santa gets here.
Oh, no, it's all timings, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that everything will be ready for Christmas, I think, really.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at Twitter then. Sorry, that was very rude of me. And maybe a bit of too much of a peek behind the curtain.
Oh, it's all right. Russell does it to me every week on the podcast, so yeah. I'm used to it by now, Mark.
Yes, that's true. How is the wee man? I've not actually... I meant to drop him a line this week and I forgot.
Oh, he's good. He's good. We had a slightly delayed podcast for anybody, any listeners who haven't downloaded the Dundee NFL podcast yet this week, please do so. We're slightly delayed from sort of Thursday to Friday, so went out a little bit late, so I think it's available now as a quick get it in there, I suppose. Yeah, the wee man was a little bit ill on Wednesday, but he was back to his best, should we say, in inverted commas, or worse, depending on your point of view, on Friday, so when we did the pod, so he's pretty good at the moment.
Oh, that's good. Glad all is well there and he's over his illness.
Yeah, indeed. Right, should we see what I've got for you this week?
Yeah, let's delve into what is fastly becoming...
the legendary Fud at 5,
yeah,
isn't it?
the Fuds at 5, yeah. It got renamed after a few weeks, which, in fairness, doesn't really...
Right, who can I put the mockers on this week? And the wee man is not going to be happy with me about this, because the first one, like I say every week, pretty much, we all know who our best players are, we all know who our major players are, and we're going to start them every week. But if we're struggling on bye weeks, and particularly I am on some of my teams this week, there's a few names out there that may yet be available, so let's have a look at number one. I've got the much maligned Josh McCown, the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, he's been very much in and out this year, the quarterback position for the Bucs, but he's back. He was back last week against the Redskins, and the Bucs beat up on the Washington Redskins last week, much to the enjoyment of Coach Duke, as we've just been talking about there. But again, he's connecting, or seems to be connecting on a regular basis to the rookie wide receiver Mike Evans. So again, Mike Evans is probably worth getting in your fantasy teams as well, whilst we're talking about that. So, but yeah, numerous sort of long plays downfield. So he shredded the skins, did McCown last week for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is pretty good effort, really, and will get you plenty of points. Now, Tampa Bay travel to Chicago. this week, and they do face the league's most generous pass defence. So trying to put 2 and 2 together here, and I usually get 5, but I get 4 on this occasion. So yeah, on the season, the Bears have surrendered 21.8 fantasy points per game to the quarterback. So that's not bad, is it? If you're struggling for a quarterback and he's available, get Josh McCown in there against that Bears. Just going on the matchup again this week. So again, potentially could pay dividends for everybody out there as well. So that's Josh McCown.
Yeah, I was going to say, the wife, a funny story actually, I know a few of the guys will know this. The wife, I actually talked her into playing the Fantasy League this year, and I have another league, and she got Mike Evans and his team, and she gave one of the other guys, I'll give him a shout out now, he's probably going to kill me for it, but Ray O'Connor, she gave him a good old beat down in fantasy football last week. I think at one point she'd got 2 or 3 players that had got more total points than his actual team. Ray's going to kill me for that. Yeah, it was good stuff. So sorry, Ray. I love you really, buddy. Sorry to hijack that, but I just had to get that in. One last firing shot.
Nice one. Well, you've got it today. You've got to get it done.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
So every now and again, why not? Yeah. Okay, let's just move on to number 2. A bit of a homer again here. And again, we all know who our best running backs are, but again, the position is very dodgy at this time of year when we come to week 12 through injuries, etc., etc. The Browns have been talked about in terms of their 3-pronged rushing attack this year with Ben Tate, Terrence West, and Isaiah Crowell. And obviously Tate's disappeared now. He's been chucked out and he's been collected by Minnesota. People may well have dropped him, so again, Ben Tate may be worthwhile if anybody's looking for running backs and is anybody desperate enough in the forthcoming weeks. But I've got Isaiah Crowell this week for the Cleveland Browns. Usually shares the touches. Well, he should be sharing the touch with Terrence West, but again, he seems to get more of the touchdowns, does Crowell. And they're playing the Atlanta Falcons this week as well, who have yielded the second most fantasy points to running backs this year.
Wow,
so
didn't
again,
know that.
if a few statistics coming through here, I try and back up, this FUD with actual statistics. So, you've got to go on the matchup again. And again, if anybody's desperate, for running back or a flex position, possibly, you may well just check the spares, who's in your league favour, and Crowell, Brown, Welby move forward on there. So yeah, he usually gets sort of anywhere between 10 and 20 touches per game, but as long as he stops the fumbling, which he's a little bit prone to, then he could pay dividends for everybody out there who needs a running back.
Great stuff.
Okay, number 3, another running back. Now, we've seen him on the television, certainly those who've watched Sky Sports lately and the Wembley game and everything. Theo Riddick, the Detroit Lions running back. Now, I'm just throwing him as a little bit of a wild card here, really, and potentially sort of as a flex position here. But Reggie Bush is the main man for Detroit, or he should be, but he's been bothered by various injuries so far this season. Now, Riddick's seen a bit of an expanded role because working with the other running back, Drake Bell, who lots of people have probably picked up, but he's pretty good on the third downs and the passing as well. They tend to go, so it's a third down and sort of long situation, anything over 5 yards, classed that as long. Then Riddick's in there, and he's generally pretty good as well. So he's very widely ignored. He's probably available in lots of leagues as well. And again, we know the Detroit Lions they're not scoring very many points, but that's got to change at some point. I'm pretty convinced that's got to change, and as soon as the playoffs are coming up as well. So points per reception formats as well, he might be worth picking up, but try and stash him a little bit as well. If you've got him, you may try and pick him up, but if you've got him on your reserve on your bench, he may well be worth including. And the Lions' schedule from now on in, well, certainly from sort of weeks 14 to 16, we've got Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and at Chicago. So that's the 6th easiest among all fantasy running back schedules. So again, just look at the matchups there moving forward as well. And you never know if you're desperate enough and you need a running back, and we all think, oh God, somebody's injured or somebody's gone down over the bye week. Theo Riddick may well be a man to fill in a gap, and you never know. The few extra points may be all the difference, as we say every week, Mark.
Yeah, I've been struggling with the Lions sort of team have crippled me running back because I drafted Bush and what's his name now? Mine's gone blank.
Drake Bell, talking about? Oh.
Yes, Bush and Bell. I drafted them both, and then injuries are crippling. Riddick's come in, and you're like, oh, I just don't know what to do. Very frustrating.
But he's pretty good. He's pretty good on the for the PPRs particularly because he does catch a few balls as well from Matt Stafford. So. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, he's almost throwing in for as a bit of a last resort, really, for anybody who's really, really desperate. So, but he will get a few points, and you know, it makes a big difference sometimes.
Yeah. Any more for
number 4. Now we're going to go on to defence and special teams for a change. Why not? Now, a lot of leagues that I'm in, this team has been widely available because I've done a few checks this week. So if that translates to anybody out there who needs some extra points from the defence and special teams, why not consider the Buffalo Bills? Why should we do that, I hear you ask? Well, the Bills are leading the league in sacks this year. They're totaling 37, so that's pretty good. They've also forced 21 turnovers in 10 games. So again, I'm throwing some stats in to try and back this up, Mark. And I think they're playing the Jets today. Sorry, they're not playing the Jets today. They're playing on Monday, aren't they, Mark?
Yeah,
Monday, doesn't it, to Detroit.
Monday night game.
Yeah, so the last time the Bills clashed with Michael Vick, then he tossed 4 picks. So, you know,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a bit of history to back up as well, so it could be a bit of an ugly rematch there. And it's probably not too far-fetched to predict a top finish for the Bills in defence in terms of, you know, perhaps they're certainly top 10 NFL. They'll probably be higher than that. I would imagine they'll be top 5 NFL as well. And I think they finished second in the league last year in terms of sacks. So you can get quite a few decent fancy points out of them. And they're not one of the sort of teams where you'd automatically think, I'll have the Buffalo Bills as a defence and special teams. But they are averaging around about 8-9 points a game. For fancy owners out there. So I've got them on at least, I think, 3 out of my 5 teams. I'm using the Bills as my defence and special teams, and they're getting quite a lot of points for me this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give the Bills a lot of love. As a Jets fan, giving the Bills love, that is tough for me to come by. But I am very impressed by the defence they've got. Very young team, and it's been dominating, like you say. Yeah. Absolutely, and they're pretty exciting to watch as well. I like the Bills. They've sort of become my second favourite team this year because they are pretty interesting to watch, you know, from a neutral point of view. So I quite like watching them, and especially that defence is fantastic as well. That, especially the front 7 they've got on there, is just harassing the quarterback every single time. So they're very entertaining to watch. Yeah.
Right. Lastly, this week, I've got a double header. I've actually cheated. I've got 6 for you this week, but I'm going to sort of give the guys out there, if they're sort of looking for the wide receivers, the position, and they're sort of desperate this week as well in terms of any buys or injuries that are plaguing your sides, which affects us all, as we've said. I've got 2 names for you of my number 5, and the first one being Kenny Britt of the suddenly in-form St. Louis Rams, who seem to be beating everybody at the moment. And we've also got Andrew Hawkins from the Cleveland Browns. Now, again, both players probably not the first people that you'd think about in terms of wide receivers, but again, could be interesting in terms of the flex positions. They tend to get thrown to pretty regularly as well, and again, the matchups this week are pretty good. Particularly, the Rams is a really good matchup this week against a pretty porous San Diego secondary. And they've also, Kenny Britt's for the Rams, have got a really good schedule moving forward for the rest of the year. That's at San Diego, Oakland, Washington, Arizona, probably not Arizona, and the New York Giants to finish off with. Are you there, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. We haven't been cut off this week, so I just thought,
that's
is everybody there?
Yeah, it's still there. There's still time now. That's the commentator's curse, that is, isn't it?
There is, isn't it? Yeah, we're bound to go down at some point, isn't it, on this line? But yeah, we've done pretty well so far. So that's Kenny Britt for the Rams. So, you know, favourable matchup again this week. So anybody out there, he's probably available. He may well be available to pick up. So if you need a wide receiver, a third wide receiver, a flex position, definitely worth considering, as is Andrew Hawkins for the Cleveland Browns. Now, I mentioned him about 6 weeks ago, something like that, and completely put the knockers on him because he hasn't got any points the game. But he's been doing, funnily enough, I haven't mentioned him since, and he's doing pretty well. But again, they're playing, Josh Gordon's back for the Browns, and we talked about him, didn't we, a few weeks ago, and saying that everybody's starting to pick him up because he's going to be back in the league very soon. And that could, again, open it up for Andrew Hawkins as well, especially on PPR leagues as well, because he does get thrown to quite a lot. And the Falcons, again, I'm going to end this with a bit of statistical background. The Falcons have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position this year. So there you go.
So basically, the Falcons are muck.
Yes. But I still expect him to beat the Browns today, he says. trying not to put the knock on the Browns and put it on the Falcons instead.
See, I fancy the Browns today.
Mm.
I really do. I just, again, as I was mentioning at the top of the show, Matt Ryan he doesn't get any stick, and he's not been that good this year for me.
He's not. The trouble is, you're going off the sort of very, very inconsistent play week on week of the Browns. They've got lots of injuries in the front seven, the defensive tackle, defensive end, linebacker positions. It's whether they can get any pressure on him, really. Now, they couldn't generate any pressure last week on Ryan Mallett, the Houston Texans. So, if they do the same this week, they're going to get ripped to shreds. Hopefully they won't do, but it's very hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, we just had a tweet actually from Rich Tinley. He said he's picked up rookie John Brown, Arizona, as well. This week says
downtown John Brown.
Downtown John Brown. I like that one. Nice. So there's been a few tweets, not many questions, and he did pick you up on. It was Gino threw 3 picks, and it was Vic the 1, but he was still 4 interception game against the Bills last time out. So yeah. Just to rub salt in the wounds of the Geno misery, basically.
Yeah, you can't tell that much difference, really, can you? Let's be honest.
No,
Vic performed pretty steady last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Bye week last week. That's why he performed steadily.
Yeah, the week before. Yeah, so that's why he played really well last week. He didn't play at all, did he? But the week before, I just seem to remember him. He sort of stayed in the pocket quite a lot, and he got some decent protection, and he played pretty well as a result of it.
Yeah, we didn't turn the ball over, so that was a plus, wasn't it? If you're not turning the ball over, you're putting your best foot forward. I always feel. Right then, that is awesome this week, mate. Stats and everything to back it up. So, if anyone, we've got 45 minutes. So, if anyone's got any last-minute tweets, where shall I direct them to, mate? And the pod as well.
Oh right, direct them to Twitter account is @DundeeNFL.
Yep.
And the podcast is 4th Down and Out.
Brilliant. So everyone, you know the drill by now. We keep promoting and all that. Go do that at Dundee NFL, 4th Down and Out podcast. Go check that out. And Simon's fantastic stuff. Really appreciate it.
Brilliant. It's absolute pleasure, Mark.
And no cut-offs this week. This is a first, so maybe all the fantasy is going to come true, and then we can say it was the curse of Skype.
Yeah, we could do, couldn't we? We'll see. We'll catch up next week, and we'll see how well we do.
Okay, then, buddy. Appreciate you calling in, mate, and enjoy your Sunday.
Cheers,
and all the
Mark.
best.
Have a good night.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Right, and that's Simon there from @Dundee NFL. So right then, we're approaching 1:15. I'm gonna. Yeah, let's do it. I'm done. No more voting. Votes, done, dusted. I'm going to add these up now as I scroll down. So it's very, very close, as it has been most weeks, in fairness. But yeah, right then. So what I'm going to do, voting is done and dusted. I've got a winner now, and I've totaled them up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ring the winner back now. Well, in a moment, in fairness, because I can't get Skype to open, even though I've only just shut it down, which is very, very frustrating. Right, so I'm going to ring the winner back now. Your votes are done and dusted. We've got a winner. And then in around about 5-6 minutes, we're going to have Tom from Huddle Magazine on the line. He's going to jump on, and we're going to give you the last-minute news as last 14 minutes of the show absolutely flown by today. And a massive thank you to everyone that's voted, but let's get on the blower now. So I am trying to phone someone, so let's go. Right then, stand by your phones, people. Not everyone, just the 2 contestants. If you want to stand by your phone, feel free. Your missus might think you're odd if you just randomly shuffle over to your phone. Well, I tell you what, do that. It'd be quite funny. Anyway, I digress. Let's ring the winner back now. So stand by your phones, people. We are waiting the answer here. I won't say the name because it just ruined it for you. But the phone is ringing. We have no answer. Oh dear. We had this the other week, didn't we? It's not good. Not good. I'd play a drop, but I can't even find my sound effects anymore. We are ringing phones. We need people to pick up phones. No. Voting's done, by the way. I did say voting was done, yeah. What else can you do? We've got 13 minutes left of the show, so keep the tweets coming in. Anything about media heroes and villains, back to the hot route this week. Keep those coming in. Zone Coverage FS. Also, like ratings, rankings, and stuff on iTunes and Stitcher. If you can bump that up, or just retweet a few of the feeds and that I put out there, that'd be very, very much appreciated. I am not getting a answer. I will try again once more. So here we go. Let's try this. It does say that this person is now online again, so it might be an iffy call. Let's just try that again. Maybe like me, you have the sounds down, because sometimes the Skype sounds can be very, very annoying. But yeah, I'm getting nothing. Oh dear. Right then, I do have a question coming through from Rich Tinley. So Rich, I will answer your question whilst I am furiously trying to call. I don't want to say the person's name, but you should be answering your phone. Right, we got no answer. I've tried it twice. So Rich Tinley asks, question, what with the Jets not playing today, what games do I recommend him to watch? Do you want an early game or a late game? Hang on. Let me try. Something's going on here. Let me just cancel that call. I'm getting a I've had a group call. Bear with me. It's all gone a little boobs up. Where are we? I'm now ringing the winner back. So someone did try to ring me. Am I ringing? No, I get no answer. Damn it! No one's won then. In this case, I'm trying, but nothing happening. Right then, what game would I recommend you? I would recommend. I know that Cardinals game, Cardinals Seahawks tonight. Hello. Is that Nick?
It is. Sorry, mate. I was I was just Don't worry.
Oh, no worries.
I take it the 49ers got an early victory.
Yes, they did, sir. The 49er troops, they rallied to your call, in fairness. You've won. With you not tuning in before, there's no great prizes or anything like that on offer. Just personal pride and anything you want to say about your team or anything moving forward, just feel free.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, obviously, to everyone who voted, all my homies in America. I've got TD in the UK. I've got Paul in the UK. I'm just pleased that everyone voted for me. I thought I put a strong case across. And I still say a 50 burger and 8 sacks.
Brilliant. We shall see how that pans out. And Nick, I appreciate you tweeting out about the show, mate, and spreading the word. It's very good of you, and it's very humbling as well on my end. So thank you very much for that.
No worries, Mark. I'll tell you now, I'm going to be listening every week. It's a good show.
Thank you.
I'll turn Rich Eisen down and the NFL Network crew. And I'll be tuning in. It's great. And go Niners.
Awesome stuff. Really good. I appreciate the kind words, Nick. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I look forward to speaking to you in the future.
Yeah, you can guarantee that.
Brilliant, Nick. Take care, buddy. And thanks
Cheers,
very much.
pal.
No problem.
Thank
Anytime.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Brilliant, and that was Nick there. He emerged victorious even after the 49ers' fateful rallied round there. So it's time, I do feel, for Huddle Magazine. Huddle Magazine. Let's give Tom a bell. I'm going to have to drop Tom a message. We had this confusion last week, didn't we, where I got a text and talk at the same time, which proved to be very difficult and entertaining for other people. So just sending Tom a text now. So any moment we should have Tom on from Huddle Magazine. Remember, get your fantasy questions over to Dundee NFL. And if you want to be on Fan versus Fan, tweet at me at Zone Coverage FS. We will get you down on a list, and I'll just pick a fixture next week, and we will get you on air. And if you do have like a website or like a group or anything that you want to promote as well, feel free to do that. And commiserations as well to Tom for calling in. He put forward a very, very good case there, but unfortunately he didn't win. So appreciate that, Tom, and all the best going forward as well with your quarterbacking. So, yeah, right then. Oh, I don't know who I've just messaged there, but he didn't go through to Tom. If you got a random message saying I'm ready, which sounds very odd, good job, that's not about 2 in the morning, isn't it? I do apologise, but I have no idea who that went to. But hey ho, so fingers crossed that message is now gone to Tom, and he should ring as he does. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm very good. I just sent. Did you get that message twice?
No, I just got it the one.
No,
just got it through now.
Someone's just got a random message saying I'm ready.
Well, I've just got it through from you now, so I managed to just catch you saying on the show that you were going to send it through, and it just popped up. So I was like, cool, that's good timing.
I have no idea who that went to. That's very odd. Anyway, what do you have for us today, sir?
Well, plenty of news from around the NFL today. Starting off in Tampa Bay at Chicago, we've got running back Charles Sims, who's expected to play, as is Doug Martin, both fighting off ankle injuries back to fitness. Arizona at Seattle, Larry Fitzgerald is a game-time decision, but it's been said that it'd be a miracle for him to play today. And Washington at San Francisco, the Redskins are intending to make life really easy for RG3 by tinkering with the game plan. Expect short throws to playmakers and getting the ball out of his hands. They don't want him to run, really, because they don't want to risk injury. Tackle Trent Williams is questionable with knee and ankle problems, and he's extremely unlikely to play. Still hear me?
Yeah, I still got you.
Cool. Detroit at New England. Dominican Sue and Calvin Johnson have both been out on the field. They've both been running, warming up. Both looking good to be playing today. Reggie Bush, as I tweeted to you, is inactive today. They're saying that that's just Detroit being careful with him. He's apparently fit to play, but they're just going to be cautious with him and not playing today. They're going to allow Joyke Bell to carry the load, and he'll carry the running game for them. Quick stat regarding Calvin Johnson and Revis Island. Last time they played each other, Revis held him to one catch for 13 yards, so that's quite an interesting matchup in that one today. Still got me?
Yeah, I've still got you, yeah.
Cool. Cincinnati at Houston. Narry Foster is inactive, as I've tweeted out to you. He was out on the field running, and nobody can understand why he's not inactive. Rumours coming out of the Texans organisation that he's good to go, but the player himself, he's being overcautious. So that's kind of the Jadeveon Clowney situation repeating itself from a few weeks back. So the Texans staff not necessarily happy that he's not playing, but Alfred Blue will carry the load for Houston today. Green Bay, Minnesota. Ben Tate will be active today after joining the Vikings. The coaches expected Adrian Peterson to be back after his appeal in the weekend. They were quite surprised that he wasn't successful in that. They've carved out a role for Ben Tate behind Jared McKinnon. And the Packers are saying that their red-hot streak on offense is the culmination of a 3-year process of putting in a no-huddle offense. So they're quite confident today going into Minnesota. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I know where the message has gone to. The wife just walked in and said, What are you on about? Sorry.
Brilliant. So you sent the message at once saying I'm ready, as well as me. Excellent.
So she's just whispering in the background, and I'm like, just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
What you on about? Like, why are you sending that? Moving on to Tennessee at Philadelphia. Sanchez will start today. The Eagles are looking to give him easier throws, and despite having seen Tennessee's blitzes before, obviously when he's played in your New York Jets side, the Eagles expect that he won't see them come quite in the volume that he's had them today, so they expect him to be getting the ball out of his hands pretty quickly. And at Miami at Denver, Peyton Manning's been talking about the need for a sense of urgency and that they have to get the running game going. Julius Thomas is questionable today and very much a game-time decision. He's been hobbling around the facility, but Emmanuel Sanders is expected to return after clearing the NFL's concussion protocol. So Sanders will come back. Julius Thomas is questionable, but as he's been hobbling around the facility, he's another one that they're saying is probably a miracle to return.
Yeah, I did that hit on Sanders last week. What did you make of that? I didn't think anything was wrong with that. Shouldered for me.
Well,
it was brutal.
Well, it was vicious, but I wouldn't have wanted to be on the end of that particular hit. But I mean, I've looked at it from every angle that I can possibly look at it, and I can't see how it's helmet to helmet.
No, it's not.
To me, it is shoulder, but I mean, the NFL go through this process. I suppose they're just looking after play safety, aren't they? So
yeah, that's very true.
Maybe they just don't want Emmanuel Sanders being knocked into the middle of this week.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make him moved over to Monday?
It's a pain in the rear end for me, in fairness, because I can't get Monday night off work. No, and
from a personal standpoint, it's
yeah,
not too good.
Totally selfish standpoint. It's not the best that they've moved the game to Monday, but yeah, you couldn't have played that in Buffalo, and it's public safety, isn't it? I've seen the pictures and absolutely
It's
madness.
not just that. I was looking at a report from I think it was NFL Network on Friday, and they were saying it was 250,000 tons of snow that would have needed to be moved. So
yeah,
it's kind of an impossible task, regardless of safety. It's just an impossible task to move that kind of snow. So
especially for $10 an hour.
Well, yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to be wanting to work too hard, are they?
No, you're not.
I mean, they give away free tickets on a first come first served basis in Detroit for the game, so at least there should be a full stadium. I was wondering who would turn up for that one.
I think you just got to go, aren't you? Say, it's a divisional game in my town. Why not?
Well, on a freebie, definitely. But when during the week before this was announced to say that was going to be the case, I was kind of wondering whether it'd be an empty stadium, because I'm sure there'd be a few Bills and Jets fans around the area that would make the journey. But if you were asked to pay NFL prices and it wasn't your team, you kind of wouldn't bother, would you?
No, it's a big ask, isn't it?
Not unless you're in the UK and you just have to put up with who's sent over it.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, as I say, it should make for an interesting one. Hopefully I'll be able to catch the highlights of that, because there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to see that one.
No, it'll be a Tuesday afternoon when I get up after my shift for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, pretty similar for me. It's going to be a Tuesday afternoon probably for me, and ensure that I get a little bit of, probably end up being the highlights in total truth, but as long as I can get to see some, I'll be good, and hopefully my Jaguars can cause an upset today.
Fingers crossed for you, buddy, you never know.
I won't be holding my breath, mate.
The latest copy of Huddle Magazine, I've seen you doing some tweets about that. That's about to hit the shelves internet soon, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, latest issue's out now. That's available from our website. Still the Cowboys, Jaguars version. We've only got 2 print copies left of that, so if you wanted it in physical in your hands, you need to get on there and get that ordered. The next one's due next Sunday, actually, featuring an interview with Erin Coscarelli, the NFL AM anchor. So we've got a 4-page interview with her.
Cool.
A bit on Odell Beckham Jr. in the rookie profile. We'll have something on the Browns and the importance of Josh Gordon in the impact of their playoff run, or attempt at a playoff run, should I say. And as every month, we'll be going inside college football with Matt Phillips, who's our scout, UK scout, who'll be giving his take on some of the defensive draft prospects for 2015. So another massive packed issue. That's on pre-order now, again, both in print and downloads, again, on our website. So just get over there, get it pre-ordered, and make sure you get your copy with Erin Coscarelli plastered across the front.
Yeah, I can't say too much about it. The wife see it.
The wife standing in the background.
Yes. Anyway, so get over to huddlemagazine.com for that then. And Tom, I appreciate the info and news as we head towards kickoff as always, mate. And I shall, fingers crossed, I'll catch up with you as we go through week 12 of Pigskin.
Yeah, that's great, mate. Again, as always, thanks for having me on the show. Thanks for everyone who listens. And anyone who wants to chat, and obviously through the games, I'll be listening to the Jaguars via NFL radio on the NFL mobile app. So give me a shout, drop us a tweet. I'm always happy to tweet and chat with everybody. So, at Huddle Magazine on Twitter, or get over to huddlemagazine.com to order our magazine.
Brilliant stuff. Appreciate it, Tom. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate, and I shall catch you soon.
And you, mate. Cheers for that. Bye-bye.
Right. Cheers, buddy. Take care. And that is Tom from Huddle Magazine. So please do go over to huddlemagazine.com on the web, get your print and download the latest copy there, and give him a few tweets as well at huddlemagazine.com. That is it. I am done and dusted. I've got a few errands to go out and run before the 6 o'clock kickoff. So massive thank you to Tom and to Nick for taking part on this week's Fan versus Fan. I've got a quick shout out to Rich Tinley at Tinley24. Quick plug for Draft Tech, please. He's done some mock drafting and stuff this week, so give at Tinley24 a quick follow there. He will get some draft info if you're into that. So go and do that. Everyone that's tweeted the show, I shall try and answer everyone as we go forward through the games in the course of the next hour or so. So just bear with me. I've got a few bits and bobs to do, but massive thank you to everyone that's tuned in, interacted, helped spread the word, and long may that continue over the course of the next few days. I am done and dusted. I'm going to go. Will Texas Teece return? That is maybe the big question on everyone's lips. So until next week, folks, remember, hustle, hit, and never quit.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Unable to listen live? We've got that covered. Simply search the Zone Coverage Football Show in either iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And don't forget to subscribe. All our shows and details on how to call into the show can be found on the website www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com.